So I'm Lisa Jachowitz and my husband is Nick, and we've been married for 15 years. We wanted to retire relatively early. Our target was 50, and we had an idea of what we wanted that life to look like. We just didn't know how to get there. And when you don't know how to do something, you ask for help. And you find an expert who does know how to do that and understands what are you trying to accomplish, what are you willing to do, and then work through a plan to figure out how are you going to get there. That's how I found you at Heritage Financial Strategies. I have been a client, I think 8, going on 9 years now with you that we spent this time together. That whole relationship-driven approach that you had when we first got together, that sealed the deal. I didn't need to keep looking after that. Getting started, I would say the first milestone was just having the plan, because it gave us so much assurance of someone actually listened to what we want to do. And it was a partnership, and there was no judgment in that or anything. It was more, this is what you want to do, this is what it's going to take, are you willing to do that? Here's the map for it. So we were able to pay down any debt we had, get everything organized, get it in one place, and then just check in on a regular basis. And one of the things I've loved about our conversations together is we often have the, I could do something, but should I do it? Which we can work through that, and we've had numbers of scenarios that we've worked through in the past. And the second thing is, and one of the things I really appreciate about you and your team is, you tell us what we need to hear, maybe not always what we want to hear, but you need to be realistic, and that's why we have those scenarios and work through those things. So in my world, in my space, there's all these dimensions of what comprises a good state of well-being, and the things that you would think of normally, like my physical state, my mental emotional state, my environment, those sorts of things that are pretty obvious. But you have to think that your financial health impacts all of those other facets and dimensions of health. So for me, having a trusted financial partner is critical, and almost as critical as having, if not equally as critical, as having a really good doctor and other wellness and health professionals who take care of your well-being. So there is a place for all of those experts to make sure that you're having the best human experience in how you show up in the world, and making sure you're well in all those areas. Come in with an open mind and have a vision of what you want to achieve, because you need to be working towards some sort of target. So if you can come in and be willing to have that conversation of knowing what you're working towards, very helpful. And you don't necessarily have to have lots and lots and lots of resources, financial resources, to start that conversation. You can start small, because the whole point of doing this is to make it get big. You know, Nick had been military law enforcement for a number of years and was kind of itching to maybe do something else. And so that was exciting for him, because we had a plan in place, and because we checked in so regularly with you, we were able to pivot, and he was able to retire. I think he was 46. And I was home, still working from home because of the whole life happening. It was the COVID pandemic, and I had gone from having this really, really big job traveling the world. I was home with him and kind of got a glimpse of what retirement life was looking like. And because I was in the health industry, it was a lot. There was a lot going on. We worked through it. Was feeling a little burnt out and thought, well, what if I want to retire too? Can we do that? I retired last year at 42. So we were way ahead of our target of retiring at 50, but because we had that plan in place and we were able to make some pivots, we were able to make that happen, and it's been fantastic. So now when people ask what I do, I say whatever I want.